What's proppin'? What's proppin'? What's proppin'? What's proppin'?
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to talk about Monstera Adansonii. I've done some serious research, have talked to some serious people, and we are going to get to some serious business. So let's get into it. Okay, so when I started doing research about Monstera Adansonii, I really wanted to come at you guys with hard facts. So I did some research on journal article critiques, Google Scholarly. I just dove really deep into a language that I struggled to understand for the most part, you know, just kind of grazing over some words. And then I got to a point where I just felt like I was conflicted with information. So I reached out to MICK from NSC Tropicals. What's up peeps, it's Editing Julia here, and I just wanted to let you know that MICK is actually his Instagram name. It's MITTERMEIER, but you guys all know that anyway. So I just wanted to throw that in there, but yeah, okay, back to the video. And he was so kind enough to get back to me. We hashed out some things and he gave me some really valuable information that I'm gonna share with you guys today. Okay, now folks, I'm gonna dive into a little bit of history here for you. In 1763, Monstera was first used by a guy named Adanson in his Familles de Plantes. Apparently he was trying to redescribe the genus Dracontium. Okay, now stick with me here for a second. Aroids used to be referred to as snakes, serpents, dragons, or monsters even. And this association goes back to many cultures, even back to ancient Greece. So Draconcollis, meaning little dragon, is a name given by Theophrastus as the name for a Mediterranean aroid. Aroids were likely associated with serpents due to the look of their aerial roots, their pedicels, and peduncles. Now, it seems most probable that Monstera, used by Adanson, is a Latinized French equivalent to Dracontium and is not as Schultz suggested, based on the apparent monstrosity of the holes in the leaves. But what I think is very fascinating is that the natives actually use Monstera Adansonii as a snake repellent. So oftentimes, nature's cure is next to nature's problem. So potentially snakes are trying to infiltrate an area, and with snakes being territorial, these make for a great repellent. Remember that, my AZ friends? There's only 4 or 5 forms, and only 2 are potentially in cultivation right now. And the 2 of them being Monstera Adansonii var. Blanchettii, and then Monstera Adansonii var. Lineata. I wasn't able to find any images of Blanchettii, but I do have a picture here of the Lineata for you. And if I'm gonna hazard a guess as to why this might be called that, is because of those linear lines you see emerging from the midrib to the outer portion of the leaf there. So that's just kind of what I've noticed looking at these different pictures. And a fun fact, the Lineata is a cousin of the Siltepecana. So these plants on social media and in nurseries are kind of labeled haphazardly because that information is really limited, especially with juvenile plants. You can't really ID them because they're so drastically different from the mature plant. Furthermore, studying these plants in the wild is very difficult because the inflorescence usually happens really high up on whatever totem that these aroids are crawling up on. All right, so I have some specimens here that we're going to be working with today. Not everything, but most of them. So we'll start with this one. I'll show you this one right here. This is Monstera Adansonii that I'm gifting to one of my friends. And in here is a gift from one of my friends. It's a rickrack cactus, which is also known as, I'm gonna try my best here, Silinicerius Anthonianus? Anthonianus. Rickrack cactus, that's what we're going with. Next. As most of you guys may have noticed, this is a Monstera Adansonii, and we're just gonna go ahead and call it regular form right now for the simplicity of this video. So it would essentially be called Monstera Adansonii var. Adansonii. And this one we are going to be repotting and adding a totem pole to it. So stay tuned for that. And in here we also have Corpuscularia lamanii. I'm reading off paper here, don't think I'm all fancy. And then here we have Carpegiae woodii, also known as string of hearts. They've all just been chilling together, and it's time to just take it apart because look at the roots on this, guys. It's just out of this world. It's awful. Anyway, these 2 are another gift. Here is the mother plant that they came off of. And I'm gonna call these ones Monstera Adansonii var Nero for right now, because it's just far too juvenile to know anything about it. This one here, as you can see, the leaves are quite yellow. It's not doing the greatest, but I highly believe that it has something to do with the water that it's sitting in. So we are actually gonna be pH testing that water, all of this water, for you guys so you can see the conditions that it's been living in. Now, what's so important to remember about any plant that you're taking into your home is that you kind of want to replicate the natural environment that it's used to. So Monstera Adansonii, even Monstera is often found in the understory of the forest. And the understory is going to offer you some dappled light, and it's just going to be a really moist area as well because it's locking in that moisture, and it's all going to be within southern Mexico area. You know, the rainforest is where it's at. So this bottle has quite a bit of residue in the bottom. You can see it swirling around there like a snow globe. This one definitely has some algae growth at the bottom. I'm just gonna kind of swish it up as much as possible. It looks like orange juice with pulp, and I love pulpy orange juice, so it's kind of making me feel a little rank. I have a pH test kit here, and a plant loves to chill in the 5.5 to 7 pH range. But a lot of houseplants have learned to adapt to thrive outside of these boundaries. So that's not ideal. Like I said, let's try and give it the best home it can. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just, if you have any pH testing kit, just read the instructions, but I'm gonna just fill it up to the line and add a drop and see where we're at. That's bad. That is bad, bad, bad. Okay, we're at pH 8 right now. So this Monstera Adansonii narrow form is chilling at a pH of 8, and that's no bueno. So I'm gonna go rinse this out and do it again 2 more times. All right guys, so it's pretty clear the pH of 8 is not good enough. I would have to add pH down, but because I'm actually gonna be taking these out of water and putting them into soil, I'm not even gonna worry about that. Just to give you a little backstory on these, I don't completely change out the water every 2 weeks or anything like that. I actually just top up the water as it gets low, and I know that's not ideal, but that's kind of what I always done. And per my last video, I don't like to make things complicated. Otherwise, I don't enjoy this hobby anymore. So let's expose some roots. Okay, I'm gonna be putting both of these guys in the same pot actually. So just gonna put them in here, let them live together again because they are siblings. And yeah, I have my really chunky Aroid mix here. I'm gonna link the video right here if you guys wanna see how I made this. And for all the ingredients, I'll put them in the description below. You can check them out on Amazon because that is the only place I was able to get chunky orchid bark right now. These are pretty large root systems, you will see. Let me show you guys here. Well, this one's not as big as the other. Oh, look at those curls. Wow. Well, hello there, roots. Root and toot, toot, toot. Part of me wants to rinse this because I know that the pH is really high, but then the other part of me doesn't want to like unhook my microphone and all that jazz again. So just try not to get at me in the comments about this. I'm just gonna put it in. There's a long root system here, as you guys can see. And what I'm gonna do, rather than just jam pack it all into one spot, is I'm gonna kind of layer it. We'll make a little root lasagna here. So let a few roots go in, add some more soil, make a mess. Oh, think about what you're doing because there's still another plant you wanna add in here. These roots are gonna be frickin' wild, child. Let's check it. This is not good, guys. Oh my gosh, can you see this? This is so not good. Oh my goodness. Well, there's one. Pretty freaking long. Give her the knockdown. Okay guys, it's nothing to write home about, but it's a new home and my baby's gonna be happy. All right, now for the Monstera Adansonii regular form, I made a moss pole and I'm gonna link the video right here. These are my pointing sticks here. So I'm gonna link the video right here and you can check out how I made this beautiful moss pole. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the Monstera in here. Let's check out these roots. Oh my gosh, watch this whole bottom. It's like a stinking plug. Oh my goodness gracious. Wow, okay. Wow, would you just look at that? So I'm just gonna unwind this mess. Wow, that is locked together. Ooh. The reason why I'm untangling these roots, because roots have memory just like muscles do. And if I don't do that, it's just gonna keep spiraling around in that circle. So I'm just redirecting these roots so they know that they have a bigger home to live in. That is a pretty decent root structure if you ask me. I mean, I definitely did wait too long to pot her up, but we don't have to talk about that, right? So along the back here, you're gonna see all of these nodes, okay? And this is where it would be better off to grab onto a moss pole. Now, a fun fact with Monstera or any sort of plant that perforates in its adult state is that if you take the weight off of the stem as it grows, you're actually going to end up having larger leaves, larger fenestrations. So certainly you can have this plant trail, but you might find the holes are a bit smaller because the plant is putting in energy elsewhere. So just keep that in mind. What I'm going to do is insert my stake where I want it. And I want it right up against the edge here. And I have the plant currently suspended in here, so the roots are not all packed at the bottom. They are just hanging down and the soil is falling in around it. All right, peeps, so that's it. I am waiting for a bamboo arch trellis to come in the mail, and I'm probably gonna be putting that in here. So this will be fine for now. Let it just acclimate in its new home. I hope you guys found this video helpful, informative, fun and funny. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. Peace out, guys. Mwah. What's poppin'? Aw, it's supposed to be proppin'. Dracontium. Dracontium. Did I forget anything? Ooh.